What's up, my friends? I hope you're having a good day. Today we're going to do something we haven't in quite a while. We're going to look around with a metal detector around the farmhouse and see if we can find anything else that I've missed here in the yard. And maybe if we're not getting many targets, we'll go down in here by the barn again and maybe down by the old spring house, because now's the time of year to do this. All of that foot of snow that we had melted. We had a day that got up to like 60 degrees. So now's the time to look. Everything is all the brush is like annihilated or very low to the ground. So this is the best time of year to hunt the fields and stuff like that around here, even though I never really found much out there. I think today is going to be a day where we can find some stuff. So I'm going to start combing around the main part of the yard here for a little bit and then probably wander down there. But you never know what's going to pop out. The ground is extremely saturated right now from all the melting snow. So this is the time when all the targets are conductive and just perfect metal detecting conditions this time of year here in East Tennessee. So we're going to go for it, even though we're extremely close to home today, but we'll find something. So stand by. Well, I don't have it here. That's just my shovel there. But I'm going to go grab it. I'm going to try the Racer 2 metal detector today. So we're going to get it out and start looking. Okay, so here's the first non-iron signal I've had. Now I'm right here by the driveway where I found a lot of modern pull tabs and a lot of modern coins as well. And we got a solid 39 signal right here. So let's go ahead and get the pinpointer out and do it live and see what it is. Get my shovel over here. Not very deep, whatever it is. And that's exactly what it is. It's one of the modern pop tabs. We're on the board with the target though. I'm right by the side of the garage here. Had a signal in the 40s and once again another modern pop tab. There's been so many of these around the driveway area. So what I think I'm going to do is start working into the back and see if we can get into more relic type stuff. That's at least the plan. So I'm working my way back in behind the outhouse and just got a modern shell casing. There's been a lot of these on the property as well. We'll keep looking. Got to be something good left down here. So I've dug a few pieces of melted material since I've had the camera on last. Now somewhere from around the outhouse, the whole way back here to by this pig pen, and all around in here, the ground's all been dozed at some point, and it's just trash at all various depths, just scattered all over the place. A lot of it being modern trash, like pieces of aluminum cans and stuff like that, that goes along with those pull tabs I've been finding. So maybe someday we'll dig all that modern trash out and see if there's anything interesting down in there. But it's just all like iron and aluminum mostly. But I came back here behind the pig pen, and I'm not sure if we have a relic here. It was a real small signal and wasn't very deep. I think it's actually, it could possibly be a little button. It might just be junk. I can't really tell. The sun's really bright out here, as you can tell. I will have to clean it up later. This is an extremely sensitive metal detector too, and I have the iron audio on, so anywhere remotely close to the house, I mean, it just lights up like a Christmas tree. And I believe there was a structure here next to this pig pen at some point, because it's just, there's iron signals all through here, pretty much every sweep of the detector. And over here is where the septic system was put in. So I don't know, we'll keep looking around back here. I did find an 1800s button around this before, so you never know. All right, I'm totally tripping right now. I hope this is not getting me and it's just some kind of junk. I had a signal literally inches off from that little tiny button thing I dug. It was really deep, faint signal. I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's just another one of those little like snap type button things, or come off of something, whatever, just a little tiny little relic thing. And I'm thinking, Okay, we got to dig it, you know, see if it's another one. It was a deep signal, so I'm thinking, oh, it's probably just some kind of iron or something chirping in, but it had a nice squeak to it. I dug down about 8 inches in the soft soil back here, and it popped out a green disc that's a weird size. It's like, from first glance, it's like between a penny and a quarter sized. So let's check it out. I don't know if it's going to be a button or what, but it looks flat, almost coinish. As soon as I saw the edge of it, I turned the camera on. I have not inspected it at all. This is where we dug that little snap button or little thing, whatever it was. Probably not a button at all. This just popped out about 8 inches down. Oh, what is that? Oh my gosh. Is that a coin? That's a weird size. If it is, it's going to be a super old one. Maybe it's a button. What in the world? Yeah, I think it's an old button. Gosh. That's definitely an old one. Look at the patina on that. You can tell there's a button there because that's where the shank busted off. You have a little kind of knob right there. Dude, when I saw that come out of the hole, I was thinking maybe it could be a coin. But that's sweet. Pretty much right on the back of where my property ends. It kind of ends right around where that fence is here. But I have free reign over the neighbor's property anyway. This is pretty much right at the back here. My other property marker is right up about where that apple tree is. Cuts along this way. And in the summer, starting about where that line is, it's all it all grows up for the neighbor has it cut down as hay. So this is really the only time of year I can get back here when it's super low. Look at that. I'll clean it up later, but that right there is definitely an 1800s flat button. Super excited to find this here. That gives me hope that this Racer 2 is going to sniff out the relics in between all this iron. Let's keep looking. So I'm about 1.5 feet away from that other signal, and I got a shallow signal in the 40s. We're almost down at it. We're going to finish it live. Just about right down on top of it here. Oh, man, these modern pull tabs have really made the rounds on this property. Whew, man, bad shadows. Let's try that. Man, these things are everywhere on this property, but this is the furthest one. The one that I found the farthest away from the house, that's for sure. Huh. Right next to them 1800 relics. Just goes to show you, you never know. All right, down in this hole here, we had a pretty good signal coming in pretty deep. And it looks like we got an old piece of brass here. Look at the patina on that. That's pretty old trash, but thought it was going to be a buckle for a second when I saw the edge of it. But yeah, we're pulling out the older targets back here, so I'm going to stick it out. Got to be something else. I am super impressed with this Racer 2 in between all the farm iron and extremely mineralized soil in my area. Anyhow, I just dug this really deep piece of iron that looks like it might be a piece of a really thick old square nail. But anyway, I had a faint higher tone here, and check this out. I'm going to get the glove off for this. I don't know if this is going to be a tiny button or what. And the soft soil pretty deep in the plug here. Check out that little round edge. Kind of roundish. It looks like it's bowing a little bit. I don't know what it is, but we're going to find out together. What is that? Oh, man, that's another flat button. This is unreal. It's so hard to hunt these farm fields in the summer here because it's really dry in the mineralized soil, and between that and the iron, there's just the signals are terrible. But I think this one's got a little pattern on it too. Can't really tell too much yet, other than that it's old. So the house was built in 1886, but there's some rumors and some stories around here of Civil War activity and some other things. And the cemetery that's across from me is a little bit older than the house is. But sweet, look at that, another 1800s button for sure. Alright, let's keep looking. There's stuff back here. Okay, so I had another nice loud signal here, and at first I thought it was a thimble, but it's some sort of copper cap maybe. I'm not sure what it came off of. But only about 1.5 feet, 2 feet away from that last target, so I don't know if there was something else back here. You wouldn't expect to be finding all these kind of relic type bits this far behind the house and behind all the outbuildings. So maybe there was some other activity back in these fields before that house was even built. I've hunted out here before and it's fairly quiet, but like I said, this is the type of conditions I've been waiting for. I've trekked to the top of that knob right up there. There's a natural spring that runs down through here. This house was built in a very strategic location for many different reasons I have gone over in other videos. But I've hiked to the top of that and I've never found anything other than some like property markers and a little bit of farm iron, like chains and stuff like that. But apparently this is where the oldest stuff has been, so we're going to keep working back and forth and through here. Well, I just dug this out of the backfield. Big piece of iron with a couple holes drilled through it. Kind of almost looks like a head of a seahorse. Anywho, we'll throw it back over here and keep looking. I'm setting some of the stuff I found out here. So we'll keep adding to the pile. I'm really stoked about those buttons. There's got to be more relics back here. Let's keep looking. I'm almost back down where the buttons were found. Had another one of them really high signals. Not sure if you can see it in the hole there. We'll pull it out, see what it is. That's just a big long piece of brass. That's definitely, wait a second. No, that's actually copper. See, it's red underneath. Probably an old piece of flattened pipe, I guess. But yeah, there's, behind the pig pen here, seems to be mostly older trash. And mixed in with those buttons, so that's good. Let's keep working it. So I made it back over to where I found the buttons after digging a couple trash pieces, modern pull tab and another piece of shredded aluminum, and this is a signal I can get excited about. So anyhow, check this out. A deep 80 signal. Tone is varying slightly, but probably because of the depth. Now that's not iron. That's something that could be a nice deep non-ferrous signal like a button or a coin. Changes tone that direction, but that doesn't matter. Could still be something really good. Let's try it live. Be easier with a foot shovel, but let's give it a go here. This is the section where it's rich original soil, hasn't been moved around back here, which is I guess why these relics are still locked down in here, unlike other areas of the property. I can tell this hasn't been disturbed right here. Otherwise it would have been really hard to dig. Let's check it with the detector. Signal seemed to have got worse. Might be in the plug. It is. Maybe a shallow piece of junk full in the detector. It's very possible. That is it right there. Well, at least it's not iron. What is it though? Oh, it's just there we go. It's just a unfired tiny little bullet. I'm not sure what caliber that would be. That's got to be, I don't know, is that a 22? That's pretty small. Very small. All right, back at it. Okay, I'm excited again. I'm looking in an excavated part here where there's a lot of rocks down toward the fence. And a second ago, I just got this lead bullet. Now, that's fairly old, but not like Civil War period old, you know, probably early 1900s, give or take a few decades. And I just got another signal here. I thought was just, oh, it's gonna be another pull tab, right? So I got down in them rocks that's been dozed around in the thick clay here. And check this out. I hope I didn't break it, but you can still see the shank on it. I think this looks like it's half of a Tomback button, which is, if that's what it is, would be either late, from what I understand, I think late 1700s or early 1800s. Kind of has that pewter look to it. It's definitely broken in half, but you can see I got the piece with the shank still on it. Let's see if the rest is in there. I sure hope I didn't slam that with a shovel. No. Like I said, this is definitely dozed material here. There's just a, you can see something must have been tore out here. You can see where it's sunken in there, and there's a little lump. And there's just, there had to have been some type of structure here at some point. Maybe another outbuilding. Who knows, but I mean, if that's what that button is, which I'm almost certain it is, I've never actually found one before. But that would predate the farmhouse by probably at least a good 70 years. So yeah, they could have still had them, but the fact that I'm finding all these old flat buttons back here that are most likely early to mid 1800s, I don't know, man. We're gonna have to do more investigating. But that's definitely an old flat button right there, a big one too. What's left of it, that is. Well, I just dug a massive chunk of what appears to be lead here. Now, I am probably just getting my hopes up, but for some reason, I was thinking this could be one of the old Civil War breastplates. Never found one before, but there is some kind of a design on it right there. It looks like in the center of it. I don't know, I feel like I'm making stuff up now that I want to see. I'm going to take this into the pig pen here and let's take a look at it. Probably should have done that live. Is it possible? Or am I just extremely hopeful? Huh. I have no idea. It almost looks like there's a design in there in the center, but maybe not. Maybe it's just bubbled up. I know there are certain Civil War relics like this that were partially lead, but I don't know if this would be, if it'd be quite like this. But anyhow, I will clean it off and we'll see if it's anything other than scrap lead, hopefully. Oh shoot. Okay, I'm gonna try not to cuss. It is. I'm cleaning it off here under the water. I knew it. It's a Civil War. I don't know if this is a box plate or a breastplate. Oh my gosh. I do not know what to say. I am shaking like crazy right now. All I could see was that little bit of detail on the breast of the eagle. And I had a thought that it could be. There's no way. Oh my gosh. Oh. Let's take this into the light. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to say. It's been a long time since I've been speechless. I don't think I've had this much of a rush since I found my last Morgan dollar. There's no way. I just found this on my property. So the question is, what in the heck was back here? Oh my goodness. I found it like, not that hole. Had some kind of moles somewhere right here. The pewter button, the two other buttons right here. I've never found anything old out in that field at all, other than maybe a couple trash bits. This square, from about a yard in from the fence to right there, to about right here and back this way. What in the world? I don't know, but I can tell you now, we'll be digging every little piece of iron out of here, every signal I can lock onto. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. I'll quit rambling on. I'll get back to you guys in a little bit. I got some errands to run. This was just supposed to be a pit stop hunt today. Well, not a pit stop hunt, but a quick one around the house. And it turned into an amazing hunt. Just that little patch there. I can't believe it. All right, I'll get back at you. All right, everyone. It's been a couple weeks since I made these amazing finds, and we're going to take a look at them right now. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this video, so I wanted to get it posted. I will point out that I'm not extremely knowledgeable when it comes to colonial and Civil War relics. My area of expertise is more so with coins and such things. So this video also is not going to go majorly into the historic context. I will follow up in future videos. Anyhow, I just wanted to point out, by having a few people look at this, I'm told that this is a circa 1830s breastplate. And as you can see, it's not in the greatest of condition. It is folded over on this top portion, and you can see that major crack going through it. Now this other little area on the side is where I clipped it with the shovel, naturally digging out an area that was predominantly trash, and having a big signal like this, I didn't think anything of it. And unfortunately, I did clip it with the shovel there. But not too bad. You can see, I mean, the thing's already, it has already deteriorated quite a bit over the years. But regardless of the condition, I'm just so happy to have this amazing piece of history. And you can see what's left of the iron pin on the back of it, and the rest is lead, and you can see it's chipping away. I'm going to have someone who's an expert with restoring and preserving relics to see what I can do with this to make sure it doesn't deteriorate any further. But there it is, the circa 1830s eagle breastplate. So it's possible that on the back of my property, before this farmhouse was built in 1886, that there could have been an old cabin back there during the colonial period. I'm not sure, but these were all concentrated in a specific area, and there's definitely impressions in the ground where there may have been some sort of structure at some point, so maybe an old cabin. I know across the road from me there is even a War of 1812 veteran buried in the cemetery there. So the cemetery is older than the house, and there's also a Confederate soldier buried in that cemetery as well. But we have a few flat buttons. This one here I'm probably not going to be able to get any distinguishing marks off of. And this one, it's quite tricky to tell as well. I haven't looked at it with magnification yet, but I think it might be one of the typical standard gilt back marks. It almost looks like it says standard on this side. So I believe those are pretty much the probably same period as the breastplate, early 1800s, probably around the 1830s. That's just a guess. But I do know that this Tomback button, which is the first one I've ever found, is probably the oldest find. I know these were predominantly used in the 1700s, but they did use them in the early 1800s as well. So it's pretty hard to, narrow these down to a decade or so, other than saying, probably mid 1700s to very early 1800s. And this was not found on the hunt for this video. If you watched a past video, I already posted this one at the farm. But that is the piece of a colonial spoon bowl. You can see the scalloped design there and where the stem would have broken off. So these are the 5 targets I've been able to find in that area so far that significantly predate the house. So for what was back there, we'll just have to do some more investigating and leave it for a future video. So anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a great time making it. The fact that one of my greatest finds of all time came from around the farmhouse here just blew me away. I honestly never expected to find something of that magnitude here on the property. So I thank everyone for coming along with me. And if you're wondering what this is, by the way, I almost broke my jaw and I split my chin open really bad playing basketball a few days ago. So I'm healing up from that. It really hurts to eat right now. But anyway, don't worry about me. I'm fine. More videos to come. I'll see y'all soon. Take care. Shh.